judges, most valued invitees, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. As per the agenda now, the welcome speech will be given by Prof. Gihan. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Jacinta. And so we have a few people here physically. So it's good to have a physical thing. As you know, last year we were not able to have any physical feedback session. This year too, many people are online, so we only have a small number of people here, but the speakers are here, so we thought we will have a physical session rather than having only a Zoom session. So, as you know, I think most of you are participants of BestWeb 2022. Some of you may have won an award, some of you may have not won an award. That's fine, because obviously in a competition, if everybody gets an award, it's not a competition. That's the thing where everybody gets an award. So there's no competition as such. So what we are trying to do today is, so we unfortunately couldn't have a physical briefing session. Normally we have that also about 2 or 3 months before the competition starts. Unfortunately, at that time, there was no way to have a physical session, but we did have a online briefing where we explain what is BestWeb and how do we get the award. Now, some of you may have got a award and you're happy and just come here to hear about it. But I assume many of you are here because you didn't, either you got some award, but you were actually hoping for a better award. So maybe you got a merit, but you're hoping that you get the gold. So we will try to explain what may have been the reason why you didn't get a gold or silver or whatever. So today we will not share any information about any individual contestant. Right? So we will not say ABC company did not get a award because of this. Obviously we cannot say that. But not everybody, but in some cases the judges have made individual comments about a particular organizations, where they say, okay, this website, it has this particular issue, or sometimes they have given also they really like this particular feature or whatever that you have. So that is we will share that individually with each of those people where the judges have made a special comment. This is for general comments, and we have 3 members of the judging panel here with us, very, very experienced people who will explain why. And just want to again reiterate that there are 2 different awards here. One is the most popular website awards for each category that is done by votes. So the judges don't really get involved in it. However, we do check to see if there is any major issue or security issue or some other issue with the website, which would not mean that it is not meeting a minimum standard even for being one of the best websites. So if we find that a particular site, for example, there was actually one site this year where they had got votes, but they did not put the BestWeb logo on the site, or at least it was not there when we looked at it during the final evaluation. So, unfortunately, because it was not meeting the requirements, it did not. There were many others, not many, maybe 10 or 15 other sites where maybe the site was generally good, but they had some security issues. So they also did not get either a normal judged award or a non-judged award. So like those are there. Anyway, getting back to judged awards, those are decided by the panel of judges who have a very detailed criteria. They give points for various criteria, and if you want to know what those criteria are, there's no problem. It's on the website itself, right? So there is nothing hidden the judges don't get any additional instructions. They basically follow the same instructions which are on the website. So if you don't have all things which are on the website, you will not get it. So, but the judge first will tell you a little more about some of the issues they face and some of the issues they face in previous years. We would really like to see a lot of gold awards, and especially so for gold, what I always say is to get a gold, you must wow the judges. The judges must feel that okay, here is a site which really has done something major. And I think now there's a lot of new technologies like virtual reality and similar technologies coming up. And so bandwidth and so on is also an issue, but to a certain extent we could make use of such technologies, or even without using any fancy technologies, if possible, to show that you have done something which is better than most of the other sites around. And so that's what we expect for the goal. Right? So I would like you all to think about it. If your site is very ordinary, it's very unlikely to get a goal. Right? But if it's a very good site and it has so many features, then of course we can consider it for a gold or a silver or whatever. Right. So anyway, welcome once again the people who are online. I don't know how many are there. If you can just put that on the screen, the gallery. Please click on the gallery mode. Right. So we have almost equal 24 people online. So welcome all of you, although we don't necessarily see all your faces, and welcome all the people who have physically come. And I see one or two who are right now. So I will hand you back to Jacinta, who will introduce the next speaker.
Thank you, sir. Our next session is Judges Observation on Different Categories by Mr. Ruwn, Amarasekara, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Jacinta.
There is something on the chat for you to check.
So, as you know, there are so many categories in BestWeb. If you go to the website, like some of you would have submitted applications, different applications, different categories, and probably would have won some awards. So few people might not have won awards. But what was observed by the judges, I'm going to talk in general related to the observations that were made by the judges during the evaluation sessions. If you take in most cases, who did win any award, there were issues related to the completeness of the site. There were many things done by the developers or the owners of the site, but maybe first two levels of the site were okay. I mean, they had enough material, they had enough content, the images were very good, but then going beyond, they had missed certain things when they go into the details of different levels. So it was one thing that was observed. Probably some of you have lost the higher level of recognition just because you didn't take real note of the whole site. So there were certain concerns related to the completeness of the site, content of the content that was there, and some sites were little bit outdated. Although the purpose, but the judges understood about the site was sometimes not really met by the content that was there in the site. Let's say you were promoting your corporate your organization, it's a corporate website, but you deviate from that and you had so many other things which are probably not necessary for your objective. Or that was partially there. So there were certain things also related to completeness. In certain sites, there were some navigation related issues. They were, it was not very user friendly. So maybe few people would have lost 1 or 2 marks due to that concern, navigational issues related in your site. And some of the sites were not really adhering to any standards that are there in the development sphere. So there were certain observations made on that also in few instances. And there were quite a bit of performance related issues, loading the site, response times. We were testing using the web, general laptops or physical laptops and then mobile devices. So when we were doing it, so when we were looking at it, there were some performance issues in some of the sites. So that I think will have to be really looked at when you are testing your sites, when you do the development work. Then some design issues were there, like some in certain sites it was observed the overall website design as well as individual page designs were not really up to the standard. So people who didn't get enough marks for those probably would have lost out few marks because of that. And there were certain things related to the quality of the content, especially when it came to multilingual area. People were very happy using Google Translator to translate the thing. But it was not giving the exact meaning sometimes. So that was observed by judges, and then probably few people would have got merit awards instead of a bronze award or something due to that. So that's one of the things related to the quality of the material. Similarly, there were certain images or photographs that were used that were not really going with the objectives of the site. Like you were promoting Sri Lanka while having all kinds of foreigners in the site. I mean, certain things may be appropriate, certain things were not appropriate. So judges, some in certain categories, some judges observed this and highlighted that yes, there were certain things related to the images as well as the text in the sites.
when you take the interactive side, so like if it is a static side, then it doesn't matter much. But when you want the users to interact with the site, interactivity uh, in certain cases were quite not up to the mark. Because of that, few people would have lost it, because we had a fairly large number of applicants this time. And you would see from the winners, you would see the how many have won it, and how many have got recognition for their sites. Then you come to some understanding on few issues that were there. Similarly, there were like privacy and security related matters. They were highlighted before the judges started judging. The initial screening, at the level of initial screening, and some developers or organizations were requested by the domain registry team to improve their security related areas. And some people actually adhered to that. They did those changes and the sites were ready by the time the judges were looking at the sites. In certain instances, maybe due to so many reasons, they couldn't do much on that. Because of that, they got lesser marks on this area. And as you know, if you go to the best website, you will see in the criteria that there are bonus points that you get for various good things that you do, or commendable things that you do related to the site. So some people actually excel in certain sites, actually excelled in that, and they got quite a few bonus points. Similarly, few people were having negative marks because they were not adhering to that. So these were the general observations that were made by the judges during sessions and even during the final award discussions made on. And one thing is, I remember that maybe one or two sites were like traded probably bronze instead of silver because they didn't really adhere to the criteria. They were good, but they had certain faults against the criteria. So what I would like to request on behalf of the judges is that you need to really look at the criteria and you try to develop according. When you plan your development itself, if you can look into the criteria, then you don't need to do it separately. You don't need to do things for BestWeb. If you do it for your usage, right, while developing, just take a look at BestWeb criteria. You will learn a lot, as well as you will give thought to certain specific areas that you might tend to either ignore or tend to take for granted. And definitely I can say that your sites will be better suited and better accepted by the respective audience. So I will stop there, and when we come to the Q&A, we can discuss anything related to the observations that were made. Go to
Thank you, sir. To move forward, website definitions by Mr. Kuganathan. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon to you all. And first of all, congratulations to all the winners, those who have succeeded and you have worked throughout the year and you have made your website to the best of the best to be in the competition. And we want you all to be next time also be a participant and be excel what you have now and more than that. So that is our expectations. I'm sure yours and your organization's expectation was the same. So let's move into these the website classifications. Why we choose the word classifications? So you have to understand if you normally if you move into the Sunday papers, there is things called classify ads. Is every paper there is things called classify ads. So if I want to look for a plumber, or if I look for a car, or if I want anything, I just go to that classify ads, easy to index, and what I want, I go to that page, and there are a lot of options, take the best and move forward. So this is how, this is the same thing. Same thing, you have to understand the customer journey. Because it's like it is a new terms is coming, KYW. What is KYW is know your website. So first we should understand, know your website. First, why I am creating this website, what is my target audience, and how I am going to sustain by selecting the right product, right informations, and to my target audience. So that is very important. So always think KYW, know your website. Then when you go further down, it is called the purpose of that website. Understand the purpose. Why I am going to do this website. And first you have to open your mind a little bit outside. What is that? What is my competitors? And how I am going to be excel over that. It is like all the time when you are going for a competition, it's like you are going to the Olympic. Understand who is going to be the previous person and their records and how you are going to be excel. Your website is going to be on top of that, the competitors. So please do some research before you do your, so straight away don't come to the development or come to the contents. Understand the scope first, then understand that classifications, my KYW, know your website, and underline your purpose, the purpose and target and my purpose. Then you bridge those where I wanted to be and where I am. So that is called the strategy. So it is not strategy means where you are now and where you wanted to be. So that is called, it is like everybody, if I want to go for unknown place, is what we go to is we'll go to Google Map and we'll say, now I'm here, now I want to, so that is where my destination. There's a lot of options are given, but we have to choose the right and easiest method where I can go and reach my destination. So this is importance when you're doing your website, and you have to understand the attributes of your website. So that is called the classified. So you have to classify your the contents and the attributes and the contents information and pitch it to the right audience. Okay, and we have seen very important thing is I myself is one of the victim of one of the heroes we have tourism sector. Please understand there's a thing called trust factor. When you are developing the website, it's called trust factor and confidence. I was cheated by selecting the hotel. The picture was nice, look and feel is nice, entrance is fantastic, the nice information, everything fine. This is one of the neighboring country. So we don't know because I booked everything online. It's called 4-star hotel. Fine, everything is fine. Then I booked, then landed. When I'm going, I was thinking whether I'm going to the right place. It's one of the called Muduku places. And suddenly, it is like I am entering to the Panchikavatta, in Talam we have the Panchikavatta area, middle of that Panchikavatta, this hotel, 3-story building only. But it was projected like a 5-star hotel. So the confidence of the trust factors, I lost on that website. So then I comment on the TripAdvisor, everything. This is my bad experience. So please understand, those who are coming on this tourism sector, those who are coming on where the people are unknown, you're going to attract them to your website. Please ensure that you maintain that trust factor and confidence with your target audience going forward. Then only there is a continuous market churning is happening. So we have to do that. Next one is you have to understand the brand value, your own brand value, where you are currently. So that is very important. And for that, how I am going to create the brand awareness, as Professor and others, Mr. Ruwn indicated, if I am participating this time, if I want to participate next time, please upgrade the website look and feel to everything to the next level. Aim for gold, more than gold. Then you can come to the next. Other one is you have to keep that brand loyalty. What is a loyalty? Is like website loyalty is very important. That is called the sustainability. The website loyalty is very important. The next one is very important thing is the brand response, the website response. We have seen if there is a trilingual language. So we have one same website in English and in Sinhala and Tamil. We have to ensure that all the questions and answers are answered and properly, or your news are identically copied all 3 languages. So that is important. That is to keep that. And there are a lot of people asking through chatbot or anything you can bring, but please ensure that there is a response quickly to it is called the leads in the real time. This is the leads your website. So for the leads, you will be passing the website is going to be the what? Entrance to the sales leads. Then that will be transferred to the CRM, the customer relationship manager. So please understand what is your entry point, your website. Okay. So via website too, there should be the brand response should be there. Then the customer's perception. Like if you are coming under the tourism, and we have seen the last time one of the entity, they have won about 3 or 4 awards. But why? There is a good customer response and they got a good feedback. They have upgraded their website. I think about Ruwn about 6 entries, no? 6 entries, all 6 entries, they have keeping the differentiation. All 6 entries, their differentiation, and they won from the gold to silver to bronze, everything, because that is called the perception and the consistency across all the webs. Then the brand image, very important is these days is strength. The quicker the response, because most of the people, they are accessing their website either through the laptop or through the mobile. So your device agnostic responsibility should be there, and it should be very, very quick, and it can be a very thick image or high resolution image, but please ensure it is going to be a device. There we are going to, it is going to be 200 or into 300 pixel rate framework, we are going to use it. So please understand the image and bring it to that image, because 1,000 words is equal to 1 picture. Please understand that and bring that the image content very clearly to your audience. Very important thing is, we always forgot the website is for what? Not only for the customers, those who are customers also. Your website is going to be, your target should be your non-customers, because you wanted to improve your business volumes or your attraction through that. So how you are going to think about as a team in your website when you are developing, how you are going. So this was one of the things you have to think. And very important thing is, among your team, listen to their needs. Who is your customers, and understand needs, and to go for that, so that you can and go for a absolute fantastic and purposeful website going forward. So these are some of the things we observed during the judging process also. And so I'm sure next time, from now onwards, please prepare yourself and work from the ground zero onwards, so that you start freshly, your mind is fresh, think and go for a best of the best. Thank you.
Now it's time to talk about importance of administrative matters. Mr. Harsha, Gomas, over to you.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for participating this feedback session this year. And firstly, I would like to wish all the winners this year. When it comes to the administration matters, we notice a few things. Mainly, when you are entering to the competition, when you are submitting applications, I think everyone know how to apply, and where you can get the forms and everything. But you have to consider when you're submitting, it should be through owner, or unless if you are billing and technical, if you are applying through billing or technical context, then you have to get the permission from the site owner. When you submit the application, everyone know you are getting an email, and you have to click verification link. Unless letter consent, you have to submit through email or through the portal. So that's very important. Because of that reason, and we are getting we have to reject many entries. And also very important, your contact details in registered domain, because sometimes when we need to contact participants, we are unable to contact them due to all details. So you have to be very careful with this. All your contact details in domain registration should be up to date. So other most important thing is we noticed after approve your submission, we are providing a logo to display your in your website. But unfortunately, most of the participants not following that rule correctly. Once you add that BestWeb logo to your site, you have to test it properly. We notice many participants having issues with website loading and CSS styling issues and performance issues. So because some, we are providing a script based on your site style sheets. There are getting some conflicts. So you have to properly check those issues before starting judging process. Other important factor is you have to keep that logo throughout the competition until finish the judging process. And also earlier speakers mentioned how your sites look and feel and other important factors. So my main concern, we noticed getting a lot of issues to logo plate. So this consider that we had to lot of sites to that issues. So other than that, I think my earlier speakers mentioned all the details. So I wish you all the very best for next competition. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harsha. Time to talk about technical evaluation of best web applicants. Over to you, Mr. Sampth Hennayake. And it will be assisted by Harsha. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sampth from the Academic Registry. Today, in the best web feedback session, I'm going to discuss about mainly our evaluation process, then important tips of pre-evaluation, and recommendation for the next level. That means there are several levels are here. So you have to pass one level to next level for the to win or award any website in best web to competition. So the very first stage of when you apply the website for a best web competition, so initially it is come to the pre-evaluation process of the LK domain best web team. So in the pre-evaluation session, we are moving to the next level. It is done by the expert panel of judges in the second level judging evaluation, and final evaluation done by all the judges, including all the head of each category's judges are participating and finalizing the awards for the best webs each category sites. So this is the process normally we follow. As an internal team, we are taking the first step. When you enroll for the competition, we are taking the process of starting evaluation process. In the evaluation process, we are initially evaluating technical criteria. In the technical criteria, completeness and standards, performance, and mainly security. And the second process, judges, expert panel, they are evaluating all other criteria, including this technical part as well. So after this process completed, then we are going for the final process. It is the one you are getting any of awards. So the second panel is recommending, and final panel will be confirmed that your winning point. The initial process, as I said, what we follow, actually, as a K-domain team, engineering team follow, we are noticed very first stage, we have to disqualify some few sites. these are the reason we've noticed that during the first process, we are few sites we need to disqualify from BestWeb competition. Each year this is happening, but now this is very less when compared to the starting. First is site redirections. So someone applying for the BestWeb competition as a .lk domain, but when I go to site, it is totally redirected to some other site, right? So and all the pages also same. So just put they have put some redirection, but there's nothing in the .lk site. So that's mean then in this point we are not able to continue that particular applicant for next level. Sometimes they will change the configuration after our evaluation, but already we are given the less marks for the initial screening process. Then they will not qualify for the with the highest number. They are not going for the next level. And also we are noticed some uncompleted sites. They only put us contact information and only park in some pages. Only few pages are published and they are participating for the BestWeb. So what I am saying is actually this is they are taking they have to take the full effort to complete their site and start the process. Have to apply for the BestWeb competition. Otherwise, many of sites not go for the next level. And some of our speakers said that logo not availability. As a computer organization, we are expecting our logo to be there because throughout the until complete the award ceremony, it should be there because we want to promote our product. Actually, the BestWeb is doing a huge effort because with the expert panel and our team and various external parties, and we have put a strong, very hard effort to develop these websites to higher level because they are getting the free evaluation for their website. Each and every categories, the individual judges are going through the each criteria and given some marks and evaluating. It's a huge process. Once you register for the BestWeb, you will get a free process to evaluate your site, but you may not get the marks. But there's a huge effort. We always try to take these sites to higher standard, international level, and making the purpose as well. And security evaluation, and that is the main part. We using the license tool and scanning all the websites, and if they are not qualified for the security, then we also give the negative marks. Then I will explain in the next slides how we are given the bad negative points for those security failed sites. Now, security evaluation. So security evaluation actually we do by the license automated tool, and we are scanning and we are preparing the report. You may many of you all getting the report because we are scanning and we are sending the detail, very brief report to customers. So in that report, we have mentioned the high and critical vulnerabilities. And this time we registered nearly 500 sites were registered, and we noticed nearly 380 sites were having the even small issues of the security issues. Some in PHP versions issues, and sometimes their CMS not updated. All these are we are actually doing a very basic scan. It is not hard enough to comply with some standards, but we do the small, very basic one. If you are getting any huge vulnerabilities for the basic scan, definitely that site within few days can be hacked. So that's why we are strongly request them to given the time period and allow them to fix those issues, and many of applicants, they are taking this chance. It's a credit point because they are taking our reports and fixing those things. Because sometimes these developers are develop their website for customers. If something hack or any some compromisation happen, so definitely that is a bad point for the developer as well. So they are taking these our reports actually and fixing, and within the time frame they are written with us. But finally we notice nearly 20-25 sites were we are not able to go for send for the next level because the high critical vulnerabilities, they are the well-known sites. And I couldn't tell names of those, but high well-known sites are having a high critical. We can identify easily without any effort. Any small tool can be display those issues when scanning. If do any vulnerability scan. That's why we are request all as we as a best team, we are actually expecting the several areas to improve in the websites. So in the evaluation process, there are a lot of criteria, and also we are taking very seriously with security. And we think these are the best practices we recommend to follow. And right. This is the Harsha. Harsha mentioned that how we given the bad mark plus point, and how we given the bad negative points for the security scan. The good points, we are many of sites having the on web application firewall enabled, and they are properly installed SSL certificate. So those are sometimes we could scan it. But this level, they are stopping our scans. And when you go for the bad security marks, you see that a lot of things are there. So remote code execution, DDoS vulnerabilities are there, SQL injection. There are a lot of the last one, security misconfiguration. So security misconfiguration and PHP versions of the very old things are installed, and that we easily can developer fix it. Because we are request them to fix it, but it's, as I said, definitely it is a plus point for the particular website because they can fix their securities and improve their sites as well. When we all participate for the website, the best step. This is how we given, and this is the snapshot of what are the vulnerabilities we received. As I said, we are scanned for nearly 500 sites, and 68 sites were identified as security issues, and 22 are rejected due to security vulnerabilities. So this is the snapshot. Then you can identify. I think security misconfiguration is the highest percentage, right? So that will have to normal PHP and some SQL database. Those are need to update because it is very easy in the control panel, cPanel also. It is very easy. Just to put 2-3 clicks, then you can update it. So, but it can be effective website, but you have to take that challenge to fix that. Finally, I want to tell you that these are the best practice. We have to follow it. Use tested approved managed code with the supported life cycle and strong password. Some of these sites we identified, admin we can easily log as a very well-known password. So the scanners with those information are identified. Use proper validation methods and ensure any frameworks you are using for the website development that need to update time to time when it is released some patches. And IPS, IDS, there are a lot of free versions also. They are now with the web application firewalls, IPS, IDS as well. So even you can use some recommended things for your web application that will give you the plus point for your security. And take your backups data every time, time to time, to keep data ready, because if something happens, you can switch your site to some other place. And very strong thing I have to tell you that most sites are compromised because of the applying bad plugins. You know that to improve some technical some uh, some improvements, sometimes you need expect customer expect, so you all introducing some plugins for improve those things. Please verify those plugins. It is review and check those plugins are properly reviewed by the others, and how many users are using those plugins, and any comments on those plugins. Please consider those things, because many of WordPress sites we identified, they compromise due to the plugins. They want to put some additional things, but finally they will get hacked within 2-3 days if you are not apply the proper plugins. So I strongly tell you that all you can use the good plugins and with the proper review. And code base also, if you're taking from out, you have to consider that as well. This is the things we want to tell you. The Q&A session, I can answer any questions in the security or technical things. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Sampth, and to Harsha. And now it's time to ask questions. So you may ask questions from all our judges and Professor Gihan and from Mr. Sampth too. You can.
They can either ask the question and we can switch on the audio, right?
Yeah, you can switch on the audio and the messages on the screen.
Or the chat will be sent. Can you suggest us some tools that we can evaluate our sites ourselves? Somewhat I will do.
Naman, hope you're asking scanning tool for the evaluation means, I think security. The normal other evaluation categories, you can't do it in the any tools, but for performance issues and navigations and some other things, you can do the you can use some tools, but security you can use the Nessus, and there are some various web application tools. I will share those information in the chat, so you can try it out. But full evaluation you can't do it in the tool. Some part of the criteria we can cover.
Just tell them that the performance.
Yeah.
Tools that Gmax.
Yeah.
Gmax.
Gmax, no?
Gmax.
Yeah.
Friends, one of the thing is if you wanted to see your real performance of your website, that is called GT matrix. You load the your website, it will be giving you from E grade to up to A grade. Please ensure your website performance is up to the A standard. So it checks all the links, all your index, and all the images are, and it will tell you the performance of your the first page within how many seconds is loading in a fresh attempt also. So these are the one of the very important things when you are evaluating your the performance of your website. That is one of the tools you can use it. Pingdom. So another one is the Pingdom also there. Either one is you can use, but I have used GT Matrix. It was very easy to load and it will give you a real performance. So that's the ideal one. Other thing is, friends, very important thing is this is a good time for you to ask any questions and answer because we have very well experienced judges and all the technical people are here. If you have some doubt or any how we can improve your performance or any website, any questions, please ask. These are good opportunities because when you ask some questions, it will be helpful for others also. You're helping others also to improve their website. So it's a friends, it's a good time because there are all the members are here from the technical as well as the designing and the developers are here. They can give their best shot for your questions, please.
Okay, if maybe until people stop you have questions. I would like to mention a couple of things that we are planning to do after this. So we've been having this Best Web competition now since 2009. So it's the 10th one we had, and we'll of course continue to have one next year and so on as well. But we thought that this is only once a year. So some people might come up with a very good idea. They bring up a website and maybe they just missed, because every year we get people, they call us sometimes even after the award ceremony and ask, can we apply for Best Web? We say, sorry, it is closed. So what we thought is we will have a thing, we will announce it next month and maybe start it from November or December, is something like a website of the month. The name might change. We have not thought of we have not finalized the brand name yet. But this would be, so every month we will recognize some number of websites in different categories, especially new ones, or ones which have significantly, updated themselves. So it's a chance for people to say, okay, I have a new website and or updated my website, and I want to have a look at it. So that is one new thing we are looking at. And again, I would like to get your feedback. If you are going to have something either monthly or something like that, what type of things would you be interested in? Right. So this is annual thing. Let's say obviously it's not going to be done by a panel of judges and so on. It's going to be just based on some internal review by our staff members. But maybe we will get some judges also to have a look at it. But maybe, I mean, it will not be a big procedure like we have for the BestWeb. So if you have any comments or any ideas, or even otherwise, I mean, so the other thing we would also like is, in addition to questions regarding how to we know whatever, what are the problems you had this year, right? What did you not like? So this year too, we had a few issues. We couldn't have the physical judging. We couldn't have the physical briefing. So luckily we managed to have the physical feedback session. But I think overall we managed those things, but I'm sure there would have been some weaknesses, some lapses on our part, or something we can improve. Please let us know. So can somebody just say something? I'm wondering whether this, there's a chat, okay. Okay, right. So the question was easier method for the public to vote. Yeah. So can you? I'm not sure who that was. If you can suggest a method, we will consider it for next time. The main problem, of course, is that if we just allow people to come and vote, same person will vote 10,000 times. So there should be some way to register or restrict, or I don't know, something. But we were trying to see whether we can do something through Facebook. I think some time ago we had something like that. But no, even right now, I think you can use Facebook, but we didn't want to limit ourselves to Facebook. So because of that, otherwise, of course, it's very easy for somebody to just come and vote 10,000 times and go. So yeah, if you have a suggestion, please let us know how you could how we could improve on that.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Just to raise one additional, I saw in the previous years we had like language-based awards also.
That's right.
The last couple of years, I think 21 and 22 also, that kind of a category was there. Is it specific reason?
Yes. So good question. The question is why this year we did not have Best Sinhala website and Best Tamil website. The main reason was now we found many websites already had Sinhala and Tamil, and so we thought we will make that into a requirement. So for certain things like government sites, it is a requirement, because if there's a government site and it's not in Sinhala Tamil, actually it's not meeting the government websites guidelines also. But for others, we didn't make it essential, but if you didn't have it, definitely you would have lost about 10 points or 20 points, some number like that. So it would have been very much difficult for you to win a gold if you didn't have the language, except we looked at the target audience. So for example, if it is a tourism site and their main target is outside Sri Lanka, then we didn't really have a concern. I mean, we didn't really reduce points for not having Sinhala and Tamil, but then maybe they should have German and Hindi and I don't know whatever else, depending on their target. So the main reason we didn't have a special award for that is because we made it into part of the requirements for all the awards. But again, if you feel that could be, if you can sort of explain, or you can sort of come up with a justification why, I mean, we could have it again next year. I mean, no reason why we can't have it next year.
The reason to my question was because now, say, comparatively, this maybe 3 years ago, 5 years ago, only the government-related sites or the banking finance-related sites only were having this kind of money in them. But there are certain companies, like maybe even a medium or maybe a higher level corporate companies also, they're looking not only to have one language, but they, since they're getting to local market, they're trying to go to their end customer, which they're looking even to have, even to give the like
Exactly.
Like similar. So there are people who wants to get the client rates. So in case maybe as a person from perspective, maybe that would be, I think, is a better option.
Right. In fact, that is the exact.
Translation can't be good option.
Yeah, that's the exact reason why we decided not to have a special award. It is because all websites should be in all three languages. So I would assume that in many of the categories, especially like the commercial categories, if you didn't have all three languages, you probably wouldn't have, almost definitely would have not got a gold. Because the idea is that if you are going to reach your target market, you have to use the language your target market is using. Ruwan?
As Professor clearly indicated, the reasoning was that you need to talk to the target audience. And if it is Sri Lankan audience, 80% of our population lives in rural areas and they use Sinhala and Tamil. Because of that, it was discussed many times and decided that we should have Sinhala, Tamil, and English in all the sites. But it all depends on the purpose of the site. If the purpose is to promote something, let's say in Western province, very focused towards English-speaking segment, then having it in English is no issue. If, as Professor indicated, let's say the target audience was in let's say Spanish speaking or German speaking or Hindi speaking or Chinese speaking, they don't need to have Sinhala or Tamil. Probably it is better that they have that in their target audience's language. That was the pure reasoning, and judges were very focused on giving marks. They tried to give marks as much as possible, but they looked at the purpose of the existence of that website. And as far as they understood the website, based on that, they gave marks.
So there's a couple of questions in the chat. First one is, can you make it a bit bigger for the Harsha? Will you publish the judging criteria on the website? I mean, the details you just showed in the presentation, right? Those are actually not judging criteria, but some other criteria we look for security. Yes, we will put that in the website. Sampth, just we can make it into a web page and we will put it there. But of course, these most of them are not criteria. I think what he was really talking about, some of the observations he had when he was looking at security. The security criteria basically is that it should be secure, right? But he was more talking about some of the problems he encountered, the different things. But it's not that we only look at those 6 or whatever criteria he mentioned. Any other criteria also we will look at. Yes, Mr. Ruwan.
No, that's it.
I will go to the next question. Okay, so I'll read the next question. Is there a way that we can know about our fail or any specific criteria that need to be improved in our website? Yeah.
As it was clearly mentioned earlier, this session is not to talk about specifics of individual sites. But okay, what I would recommend is, this is something that we don't do as developers. We forget this. We take everything for granted. This whole world, we think that we are the only people live in this world. I mean, just very basic. It happens to me also, time to time. But consciously, please put yourself in the shoes of the customer and do your testing based on the BestWeb criteria. Then you will do the exact thing that judges are doing. You can do your testing You can check your website, see whether you have gone wrong at any point. Once you rectify those, I mean, even the judges won't be able to make much of a noise about the site. The best thing is just look at your website today or tomorrow, whatever. Take the criteria against each of the criterion. Just look at your website and mark, thinking that you are your customer, not the developer. Right? Developers tend to check the best things under the sun. Look at the other side. Think about the person who doesn't know your site. Think about the persons who are new to your site. Then you will do better. You will understand where you have gone wrong. And it's very simple. It's just a conscious decision that every one of us will have to do when we are testing the website. Have I missed out anything?
Yes, let me also, so I will say a couple of general things. No, let me finish this one and then we'll get to the next one. So a couple of things is, many people, they design a website which looks beautiful on their monitor when they run it on the local network. But if somebody uses a fairly cheap phone, I mean, a lot of people have very old, obsolete phones, or they are on a very low speed 3G or something connection, the website takes very long to load, or it's sort of all jumbled up and you can't see it. Or sometimes the icons are so small, if you try to press it on a phone, like 3 or 4 icons get pressed at the same time, issues like that. So please use, there are tools for that also, where you can, run it on or emulate it on different devices and check. So like that, as Mr. Ruwan said, don't think that everybody is having the exact same computer you have. They might have and sometimes we can see the opposite also. Now a lot of people have these 4K monitors, right? Even laptops, there are 4K displays. And some websites, so when you look at it on a 4K monitor, it just clicks into one small corner and half of it is blank. So immediately it will lose marks. So sometimes people think responsive is only for small screen. No, responsive also means it should look nice on a large screen. Then also I would like to say we are considering, we have not finalized it yet, but we'll most likely do it in the next few months, have a training session for web developers, specifically on criteria of how to develop very good websites. I mean, not to talk about any particular thing, not to talk about Adobe Illustrator in detail or anything like that. That we'll have to figure out. There are different courses for that. But how to develop a site which meets, all the W3C and various other criteria and also looks nice. As Mr. Ruwan said, your customer should come and the customer should feel really, I got everything I wanted. So there was no reason why I should have gone to Colombo and talk to somebody, because there's no reason today why anybody should come to your office, right? Wasting time. In fact, even this feedback session, I mean, we had a physical session, but actually it is not really needed. We could have had it online even. So what we would like is for people, your customers, to feel that, okay, there's nothing which I was missing by coming to this website. I got 100% of what I needed, or even more than I expected. I was expecting certain amount, but actually I got double that from the site. Right, so we will try to have some training sessions. We were thinking of maybe like a 4 days or something like that training program. There will be some charge for that, but we are going to not, make it a very expensive thing. So we will let you know about that. Okay, so what is the next one? Yeah, you can use any security plugins you like. I mean, it's up to you. You should, in fact, use whatever security plugins are needed. And we talked about, I think Sampth talked about web application firewalls or any other kind of firewalls. However, my recommendation is, so some people do this. They know that they have some weakness, some vulnerability in the site. To hide it, they stick some kind of firewall or a security something in front to prevent people from exploiting that. So that might sort of work, and as a temporary solution, maybe that's the best you can do. But on a permanent basis, I do not advise that, because somebody could always find a way of getting around that whatever security thing and coming and attacking the system. So better fix the system. But yes, we strongly recommend you using a web application firewall. I'm not 100% sure what you exactly mean by security plugin, but I assume it's something similar to that. But yes, on your website, on your framework, whatever, if you're using things like say WordPress or something, and there is a good security plugin, we would strongly advise you to use that. Not to hide, but to protect. I mean, I would not say hide. Hide is a bit of dangerous thing. That means you know you have vulnerability, but you're hiding it. But first fix your vulnerabilities, but also put a whatever firewall to support it. Sampth or Amal, whoever. No, I'm going to answer that question first. So, is there a different question? Same question.
Same person, sir.
Right.
And we use security plugins and hide side data.
That's what I said. Answered just now.
And then, sir, just a very question. Can we put?
No, we will finish that question first. Right. So, Sampth.
You go one way.
Yes, can you website as a game website in the external category of the game?
No. So, but we'll first finish answering the security plugin. So, can you just explain a bit more about the security plugin? And I think one also wants.
Security plugins, yes, as Prof said, we can enable some security plugins for the temporary basis. It is not a permanent solution. So even if you have a web application firewall in the very reputed one, and you can have IPS, IDS, and firewall, everything you can have, but your site can be compromised. So it can be a security plugin. We can hide something for the temporary basis. We can't guarantee whether it is for the 1 week, 1 day, or 2 months that we can do. If there are any framework updates or any versions need to update, definitely we should do it. We have to take that challenge and do it. That's my recommendation.
Okay. So we go to the next one. Is there a way we can go about field the answer? Yeah, web-based. Okay, some other yes. Based games.
Oh, you say game website is under the category media and entertainment.
So is that what I will answer?
No, sir.
I have to answer. I thought you said you were going to answer that. Yeah. So currently we don't have a specific category for web-based games because we did.
Media and entertainment games.
Yeah. Wait. Because we didn't see, because the thing is, if we have a special category, there must be a reasonable number of entries inside .lk domain for us to evaluate. So if there's only one person who has a web-based game in LK, there's nothing to evaluate. So as Mr. Kugan mentioned, you can come under media and entertainment, but let me also mention there is a slight difference. So there are like e-Sobimani, and there are other things which are looking at specific applications. BestWeb is looking at websites. So there are many things you can do using the web technology, including games. But we are mostly looking at websites, and the whole idea is that the site has a particular purpose, which could include a game. But if this is basically a game and which is using the web technologies to deliver it, maybe it's not 100% fitting BestWeb. Maybe there's a different place you can submit it to. Having said that, if we see that there is a lot of sites which have, there's also a thing. So if you have a site, but within that site there is a game. So this is called gamification, right? So to build customer engagement, you have games or something where people can win and do something. So that of course would be valuable for any website and would definitely get some points if it improves the usability of your website. But if it's basically just a game, we would need to see that there is a reasonable number of games to put a separate category. But as Kugan said, if you feel it comes under media and entertainment, for the moment, that's where I suppose we can have it. I don't know, any other comments on that? Okay, then there's a thank you and a thanks. Do you recommend any servers to host the websites? No. There are millions of places where you can host websites, and so some are obviously better than others. If you're it depends on what you're doing. I would say if it's like a small website you're doing for a non-profit or something, you can get either a free server as long as it supports .lk. I mean, if it doesn't support .lk, you can do it, but then you can't enter for BestWeb.LK. Or one of these $5 a month or $4.99 or whatever places. But if you are going to do a basic sort of a corporate website, you should go for a good provider. So either locally we have places like SLT, and of course we have many of our resellers who sell LK domains. They do also have web hosting, so you could go for any of them. I will not mention any particular name since we have several of them. So I would suggest you want to use the services of one of our resellers, or there are thousands of sites. I would suggest don't go on price alone, right? For maybe even like $19.99 type of thing, you can get quite reasonable sites. So I would suggest don't try to go for these $1 or $5 sites. Anything else? No.
Can enhance the usage of the voting icon.
You mean this BestWeb icon?
Voting icon. Now when you vote, there are two small icons for review and vote. Vote. It is used on.
Okay, so can somebody note that? Yeah. Just you can write it down and give it to. Okay. We will. So the question, sorry, in case the people didn't hear, I'll repeat it. The question from the audience was, when you go to vote, the icon which says vote or review was too small and it was not legible. So we have noted it down and we will address it. Okay, so thank you very much for your valuable feedback. Okay, thank you for coming for this. Right, so in that case, if does any of the judges also have any final remarks? Yes, Harsha, come. Okay. No, Harsha want to say. Yes. Yeah, very good.
Yes, I have a suggestion for this logo and monitoring thing. If we can add a without providing a code, if we can monitor the website through a DNS process, adding a code to a DNS, or unless adding a file in the root of the website without harming, like without making complication with the site codes, then it will be a better for participants.
So this is a way to remove that which is not there. the site traffic monitoring, we don't have this.
Right.
Because many people are not
Yes.
doing it, so it will be removed at the same time.
But there are conflicts with that code because some websites
So
are
if you
not
can,
loaded.
Ask somebody to let us know the exact problem with the JavaScript, right?
Yes.
Right.
And we notice many many sites in our category.
Right.
So
Yeah, if you can let us know the problem,
yes.
we will,
Then it will be
so we
better
want to
for
make it as simple as
yes.
possible. So right now, all it really does is it puts a logo there,
Yeah.
and it allows you to find and code. It's a small piece of JavaScript, but if there is a problem, then we can fix it.
In our semi category, we notice that.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that the traffic monitoring part, sorry, let me come here and talk. The web traffic monitoring part we had in previous years. This year we decided not to do it because it was causing some issues, and we decided it was not really so important because we are looking at the best website and the popular website are looking separate. So the traffic we felt was not critical for us, so we decided to drop that. But if there is still any problems with the JavaScript, we can see. As you said, we can. No, I mean monitoring we can even do with a pixel or something, but we decided not to do it anyway. Okay, right. Then I will hand you back to Jacinta. There is no question.
Thank you, sir. So we have come to an end of the session, and I would like to thank our respected judges, Mr. Kuberadan, Mr. Ruwn Amarasekara, and Mr. Harsha Gomas, and all to our LK domain staff, and namely to Mr. Indika, Tilaka, Mr. Sampth, Hennayake, and to Harsha Saparamadu, and to Amarasekara. And having said all these discussions and all completing all the program, we wish everyone a successful Best Web 2022, and we look forward to have your presence in the coming year 2023 with all the changes, whatever we discussed here. And if you have further questions, please write to bestweb@domains.lk. And it will be helpful if you mention your domain name in the subject bar clearly and your problem shortly, so that I can forward your questions direct to Professor and get you an answer. Thank you so much. Good night. Thank you very much.